Make Atom great again. Another 19% pump as the Cosmos Hub Atom has re-entered the top 50 on CoinGecko based on market cap. And in my personal view, the most notable thing about this is the insane 24-hour trading volume of around 1 billion USD, or a third of its market cap. And that actually puts it into the top 30 in terms of volume, which is very impressive considering that Atom does not have a core team that is taking care of liquidity, market making, all these kind of things, right? Investor relations, centralized exchange relations. This is all purely organic. And the Cosmos Hub and Atom, while it does not represent the entirety of Cosmos, I think Atom doing well just boosts and accelerates Cosmos season that is inevitably going to come. But in my view, there's also going to be an Atom season. And in today's video, we're also going to be talking specifically about the Atom ecosystem, because there's a lot that's happening. And I think people are not really aware. Most people just think Atom equals Cosmos, while Atom actually has its own ecosystem. And the Cosmos actually consists of 120 plus layer 1 blockchains, including Celestia, Kronos, Mantra Chain, Osmosis, Dydx, Thor Chain, Dymension, Saga, Berachain that is coming up, Nillion that is coming up, Babylon that is coming up, and so on and so forth. But there's its own Atom ecosystem, and we're going to look into that. Anyway, at the same time, I think it's not yet time to take any victory laps. I think Atom below $10 is still a joke, to be honest. We're still not completely out of the trenches, but I feel more bullish and more confident than ever, not only in Atom, but the entire Cosmos ecosystem. I feel like we have really bottomed out in late summer, just before Cosmoverse. Maybe also Cosmoverse restart some of the good vibes, because that's always what happens at Cosmoverse, is that people see each other in person, in real life, and they get to actually talk and discuss some of the opinions and debates and discussions that usually, if they happen on Twitter, a lot of the nuance is gone and it just ends up in chaos. But meeting up at least once a year as the entire ecosystem, I think, is extremely, extremely valuable. Anyways, Atom had its all-time high almost 3 years ago at $44.45, down 82% from that still. So that means we need another 5x, more than a 5x, to reclaim all-time highs. And in my opinion, my personal opinion, I think we're going to get there. And this obviously excludes staking rewards, but also airdrops, which over the years accumulated big time. If you just take the Tia airdrop, the Saga airdrop, the Dymension airdrop, those three alone were pretty nice and pretty juicy airdrops. And they keep breeding us new airdrops, and we'll keep doing that in the future as well. But yeah, this is Atom. Restored vibes. There's something also cooking in terms of what is happening with Atom in 2025. So I think in the next few weeks, we're going to hear a lot of news about where Atom is headed, how the core development is going to be structured for 2025. And yeah, I'm very, very excited about that. Looking into the rest of the ecosystem, we see Celestia Tia also waking up 10%, another 10% up today, $6.11. Chihuahua up 5%, Koreum another 74%. And this thing was below 7 cents or 8 cents just a few days ago, literally. Dydx up 9%, $1.40. In my view, still ridiculously undervalued. This thing is going to snap to page one in no time. Dymension 12%, ASI 6%, Injective 16%, very nice. Mantra on its way back to $4, up 2%. Neutron, we have some news about Neutron as well today, which is part of the Atom ecosystem as well, reclaiming 50 cents here. Osmosis 58 cents. Overall, very, very green, and you can already tell there are some big gainers. First and foremost, Koreum Core in the past 24 hours, but also Sentinel DVPN, which is an absolute OG chain in Cosmos, one of the earliest adopters. Clear product market fit with their decentralized VPN solution. They also had a presentation at Cosmoverse, a video, and also multiple panels and talks. And Sentinel DVPN, one coin that I still have in my portfolio. By the way, I held all these coins in my personal portfolio. I have like 50 or 60 coins from the Cosmos ecosystem and many that are coming up. So I'm pretty much holding all of these coins. Yeah, it's good to see some relief. Obviously, we're far away from any sorts of all-time highs. Agoric also up 15% today at 11 cents, but this thing had its all-time high at 70 cents, 70, right? So we're still far away from that. But yeah, Stride also 64 cents. This thing is going to snap back to a couple of dollars at least in the short term, mid-term. In my personal view, obviously, this is not guaranteed, but that's just my personal opinion. Noble, we talked a lot about Noble news in the recent weeks. They announced their $15 million fundraiser led by Paradigm and also achieved another milestone, $500 million in assets issued. Most of it is actually native USDC, Circle USDC. So Noble is the liquidity gateway for the interchain, and all these assets issued on Noble are IBC native, which means fully compatible with everything in Cosmos. And the more and more IBC complexity gets abstracted away, the more seamlessly it will also be integrated directly into each and every one of these IBC chains, of which we now have 120 plus that are in production and many, many more that are coming up. Noble is also going to launch the Noble Dollar, which is something they teased in their recent announcement as well. As of right now, Noble is still a permissioned proof of authority chain. With Dogecast, we're one of the validators. So Noble does not have its own token, and Noble does not currently also source security from other chains. I think there were talks about kind of sourcing ETH security through EtherStake, but that project kind of froze. So I'm not sure what's happening there. Maybe with an Atom Renaissance, and maybe with renewed interest and hype and, you know, Atom 2.0 for real this time though, a fresh new wind in Atom, a fresh new direction and restored vibes and culture, maybe Noble might consider migrating and becoming Atom secured after all, which has been the grand vision ever since Noble was first announced at Cosmos 2022 in Medellin, Colombia. Now, I want to share this deep dive article by Spade, who is the founder of Neutron and has been a frequent guest over the years here on the channel. And I'm a big fan of Neutron. I hold a small position, not a big one, but I'm definitely looking to increase my NTRN holdings because Neutron is just one of those DeFi platforms in Cosmos that in my view is going to absorb a lot of value with a progressing alt season and eventual Cosmos season plus an Atom season eventually. Neutron is an Atom secured chain, the very first consumer chain on the Cosmos Hub that launched from scratch and brought interchain security to market. And is also one of the most flexible, most capital efficient, fastest, and most interoperable chains in DeFi and crypto. They have this table here comparing it to other stacks, its benefits, all these kind of things. TVL has increased 268% in the past 4 months between August and November. They have 34,000 monthly active users. They also have their own meme coin with Neut, which also just did a 2x today. $68 million in bridge volume. Protocols like Mars protocol that migrated from their own sovereign layer 1 blockchain to actually fully migrate onto Neutron. We have also covered this whole migration. And by the way, if you still hold Mars tokens on the Mars chain, the Mars hub, then you need to unstake your tokens, bring them over to Neutron via IBC, and then swap them for native Neutron Mars tokens. I did a full guide on this multiple times over the recent weeks, but yeah, just check your Mars holdings and unstake and do exactly that. Now, the biggest thing, that's probably the most exciting thing about Neutron, is the fact that Lido, the Lido Alliance, launched Drop Protocol that is built on top of Neutron and is a liquid staking provider that currently also has their droplets campaign where you can actually farm droplet points, which eventually will turn into drop tokens. So the drop token is also going to drop eventually. And if you're farming that thing right now, then that might also turn out to be a juicy airdrop. You can, I think, up to 50x your droplets farming points if you deposit them on Levana, or I think even on Nolos and other applications and Mars. So check that out as well. I also did full guides on that weeks and months ago. But one thing that is very, very interesting from this article is in fact, or from this blog post, the alpha that Drop has an upcoming product called Max BTC that has the potential to serve as the premier collateral asset in crypto. So this one is very, very interesting with Neutron's mission to bring DeFi to Bitcoin. Already kind of positioning themselves for this inevitable Bitcoin ecosystem rally that's going to happen, especially around the time, I guess, Babylon drops their token and launches their mainnet, which is probably going to happen in Q1 of next year. So also just a few months away. And Neutron is there. Neutron is ready. Been around for many years, battle tested, and has decent liquidity, decent applications, also with Astroport, Mars Protocol, you saw it, Nolos. Neutron is also fully Atom aligned, and so is Stride. Aiden, founder of Stride, also commenting on this kind of recent rally. Atom has been through hell. everything that could have gone wrong did, but it's still here. Time for a new chapter. And we're at the verge of this new chapter beginning, which is Atom 2.0 on absolute steroids. And I'm very, very excited for that. And I think that Atom is going to do very well this bull run. Obviously, as I always say, if you want to invest in Cosmos, in my personal opinion at least, holding Atom is a must. You have to have Atom. But only holding Atom is also not enough, right? You also need to have Cosmos ecosystem projects, but even Atom ecosystem projects like Neutron, like Stride, and so on and so forth, like Drop that is coming up, like Crypto Dungeon, which is a game that also just launched. And another thing that Atom has that is going to make it very, very resilient and hard to kill is a strong core community that's been around for many years. I would consider myself also maybe I'm maybe not an Atom OG, but I've been buying my first Atom in sometime late 2020. There's people that obviously bought it in 2019 when the ICO happened or the mainnet launch happened. And yeah, there's many of these absolute OGs that became also very vocal in the bear market when people were literally calling doomsday on Atom, urging people to sell, making fun of it. There were people like Rob, like Agent Quash, like Wickex, all these people, and I hope you all took note of that, who was actually coming out in those times, Tony as well, and defending Atom when everybody made fun of it, right? Because the thing is, when things go down, when things go bad, when shit hits the fan, talking and fueling that negativity is, you know, what people kind of want to hear. So it gets a lot of engagement, it gets a lot of clicks and hype and views, and people kind of agree to it. It's very controversial to say the opposite, but we survived it. We are still here, we're still standing, and we're making Atom great again. Rob is here, so is Zaki also. Atom 1K LFG is a meme coin, by the way, that is also listed on Osmosis. Zaki saying, now that Atom is at $7, 0.7% to Valhalla. I hope you still remember Zaki's presentation, Cosmos 2022, when he announced Atom 2.0, and his title was called Atom 1K LFG. So that's where it's all is coming from. And yeah, maybe eventually it will happen. Maybe it will happen eventually. Tony also saying, non-ironically, I called the bottom still early on Atom. And he literally said that. I know I've been following Tony. We've been sharing this his tweets here as well on the channel. Nothing like last cycle's Atom. There are so many new reasons to be bullish. It's not about if we reach a new all-time highs, but by how much. I guess by how much we surpass them. So Tony's bullish, Zaki's bullish, Rob is bullish. The Cosmos Hub is also reflecting that with on-chain stats. 60% more revenue generating users in just 3 weeks. Token Terminal here sharing the stats. You can see in earlier this year, we had a bit of a rally and it peaked out here. And then ever since it went down only, which is also when the kind of negativity took over. But now we are pumping big time and we're seeing a renaissance, a revival in users and on-chain activity on the Cosmos Hub. Greg also coming out saying that AKT continues to remain strongly committed to the Atom ecosystem as the leading chain with non-crypto users. So there's close alignment between Akash and Atom, also between Sentinel and Atom. We talked about Stride, Neutron being Atom aligned, and Crypto Dungeon and many more. A lot of tokens and even NFT collections like Bad Kits that are now denominated in Atom that are all Atom aligned, right? One, because Atom is the mother chain of Cosmos. Two, because it still has kind of a big core community that is actually quite neutral. They're not Camp A versus Camp B. They're just cosmonauts. And number three, because also Atom is a very liquid, accessible, battle-tested, resilient token that's been in production for 5 years, which is not something other tokens can claim, right? They are still in the kind of early phases. They still have huge potential sell pressures or redistribution of their own token, maybe founder drama that's lined up, right? And we're seeing a lot of that. But yeah, Sentinel also very, very bullish. And also we have new culture being bred here with meme coins. We see Spice making all-time high after all-time high, 4.1 cents. We talked about this, I think, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago for the first time. And yeah, it's making all-time high after all-time high. Now at a $4.1 million market cap. I bought this at around 1 cent, a little bit, just a few $100s, but now it's already a 4x, so that's nice. Newt, the Neutron meme token, also up 93% after the Spice account tweeted that they're buying Newt tokens for the treasury, also being aligned between Spice and Newt. And I love to see that. I think what we've always been lacking on the meme coin side of things is that these meme coins always pop up, but they're not really sticky. So what I would love to see is a sort of meme coin alliance between Spice, Newt. We have also obviously Chihuahua, right? The OG of all meme coins, and many more that are there, right? We also have Atom 1K LFG that I mentioned earlier, right? So all these meme coins eventually, they should be friendly to each other. They should be forming this alliance and not kind of just build their isolated silo. In terms of Atom's repositioning and how it evolved over the years, we now have two new products, one being Forge, both developed by Informal Systems, by the way. One being Forge. Forge is the front end or the dashboard for the Cosmos, centered around the Cosmos Hub and Atom. It is for Atom delegators, but also for validators and for those that want to launch their Atom secured chain. So it's the interchain security front end. You can launch your token or chain, and you can also find and present yourself to the Atom community. So this is Forge, a front end for the Cosmos Hub. And then we have Hydro, that is the liquidity layer of the Cosmos Hub, natively integrated. And that is basically an auction platform where projects can bid for Atom liquidity. And on the other side, Atom holders can maximize and earn more APR. And also, they can decide where Atom liquidity goes to, right? So, and yeah, eventually there's also a business model for Atom itself that accrues value. But the first cap has already been reached, 20,000 Atoms, which now is $150,000 roundabout. And yeah, those that got into that first vault, they are not only getting around 9% extra APR on their staked atoms, so 19 plus whatever the staking reward is, but also they already got multiple snapshots for airdrops for Hydro depositors specifically. And I always keep hearing this like, yeah, Atom only lives off the airdrop meta, but guess what? The airdrop meta never goes away. And whether it's for Atom stakers, Atom governance participants, or Atom Hydro depositors, there's always something, right? But the Atom community is still the most robust, resilient, and OG community in Cosmos. So I personally think there will always be airdrops. Another thing that people really, really forgot about is asteroids. Very cold narrative right now with inscriptions, right? Inscriptions were really huge when ordinals exploded on Bitcoin. Right now, everybody's just talking about politics, ETFs, right? We also do that a lot here on the channel. Obviously, it is a very hot and spicy topic, but I look at what is currently very, very cold, because that eventually is going to pump, right? And asteroids having a $554,000 FDV is absolutely nuts. So I'm going to stack more roids after recording this video. I do have a small position, but I need a lot more. So I'm going to buy some roids. And I think if you haven't played around with Asteroid Protocol, you should definitely do that. It's an inscriptions platform that is also restoring a lot of the culture around the Cosmos Hub. And in my personal view, eventually it's going to have its time. Once NFTs come back, Metaverse comes back, inscriptions come back, I think that Asteroid is well positioned to be one of the top inscription platforms in all of crypto. Next, we also have a comparison that I want to draw. So Lily, she is the president at the Solana Foundation, but also likes Cosmos. And she made a tweet because now obviously Solana, Sol reached new all-time highs. We talked about it yesterday. Congratulations again to the whole Solana community. They went through a lot. And I remember in December 2022, after SBF went bust, basically, as FTX and SBF went to jail. But they went and saw this resurrection miracle because everybody called death upon Solana at those times. Solana went to $8, and yeah, now everybody's asking, how did you guys do that? And Lily's just saying, we're doing today what we did in November 2022 to focus on building useful stuff, focus on building open finance. With relentless conviction. That's why everyone's doubled down in November 2022. When the times were the worst, there were a lot of people that turned their backs, a lot of people that said, this is dead, you're never going to recover. And Matt shared this thread here with screenshots from everybody who called death upon Sol. Even Finesse, to be clear, Sol's going to zero. The whole pumping was just another SBF scam. Sol is the next EOS. Looks dead to me. TVL at the low point. Hilarious. Mass extinction event. I'll sell as much Sol as I have right now at $3. So yeah, a lot of people were just dunking on it. And yeah, now Mert is obviously taking a victory lap, rightfully so also, because he was one of the first ones to kind of come out and say, yo, I'm doubling down on this. I'm going all in and I will do everything that I can to contribute to the resurrection of Sol. And to us, I see a lot of the similar culture in Cosmos as well. And Atom specifically is kind of front-running Ethereum on all the drama and all the kind of internal implosion within the team, the core team, the roadmap, founder drama, no roadmap, all these kind of things, being late to the party, being too early to the party, right? All the things governance drama, all these kind of things. But at the same time, it's also lagging behind Solana on the kind of resurrection miracle. And I think that Atom is well positioned to also pull a resurrection miracle. So we'll see. I'm optimistic. Now, one of the contributing factors, I already mentioned it, is obviously the whole airdrops meta. And we speculated about side protocol potentially including Atom stakers as well. And now we have formal confirmation, official confirmation that yes, Atom stakers are getting the side airdrop. And you actually have to take action here in 3 days. So there's a link. I'll leave it in the video description. Genesis.site.1. And you have to, right now what you can do is you can check if you're eligible for that airdrop. And if you are, then you have to register on November 26th at 10 a.m. UTC. Because there's this kind of short time window, I guess, when people that are eligible have to register the airdrop. And I guess if it closes, then you potentially might miss out on that. This not only applies to Atom stakers from the Cosmos side, but also to BadKids and Celestine Sloth holders. We're also getting this nice airdrop and a very generous one. 2.5% are allocated to us. And as you can see here, also Atom stakers and public goods, which means Atom stakers, including Hydro users, and also those who contributed to public goods through Dora hacks. This is the eligibility side. You have to check here if you are getting the airdrop, and then you have to be fast in registering. Another airdrop that we're getting for being Atom stakers is the Elis airdrop. And Elis also has the first burn to mint NFT that is on Stargaze, where you're also getting an airdrop for. So definitely something to check out. Sepmas from my team did a full-on walkthrough on how to navigate through the Elis network burn and mint mechanism on Stargaze, because if you're just going on Stargaze yourself, you probably get lost and confused because there's different tiers, there's different collections, and you need to know exactly what needs to be done. So Sepmas is walking you through on how that process works. And another airdrop that we received is the Saga airdrop. Vault 7 has now been distributed, and I will stake right away my airdrop. I'm going to do that right after recording this video. Stake all my airdrop and compound what I also accrued in staking rewards. In fact, you can also come here on restake.app/Saga and you can automate your staking with us, with Dogecast here. We are compatible with Restake, and then you are getting your maximum APY, but also your maximum airdrop allocation. And there is going to be another snapshot that will be taken very, very soon, and another airdrop that will happen before or around Christmas, but definitely before the year ends. So make sure that you are not missing that airdrop, because I think this might actually be the biggest yet. Finally, also a teaser by Skip Protocol. Skip Protocol teasing something that's been months in the making. The new Skip Go is going to be a game changer for Cosmos, IBC, and interoperability across crypto. And if you've been using ibc.fund and you are a Skip user, because ibc.fund is what eventually rebranded into Skip Go, and they have a major upgrade coming very soon. So I'm excited for that. And finally, another thing to be very excited about is the Berachain launch. Like, imagine all of the price movements that are happening right now, and Trump is not even in office. All these major multi-billion-dollar chains that have raised hundreds of millions of dollars are not even live, such as Berachain, such as Babylon, Monad. They're not even on mainnet yet. They're not even distributed their airdrops yet, and there is very likely at least going to be an airdrop even for Berachain. And there's even a poly market bet on whether Berachain will launch in 2024. Right now, a 10% chance. I personally don't think it will launch in the next few weeks, but yeah, it might. I don't know. And the final testnet, I guess, just went live. So this is now the final stress test before they're launching mainnet. As I said in a recent video as well, the thing about Berachain is that the way their proof of liquidity algorithm works means that a lot of the applications that are launching on Berachain need to be very active and are closely kind of tied and integrated into Berachain. And I think launching this during a holiday period where, you know, people are spending time with families and maybe not working as much might be counterproductive from that side of things, because I know that Berachain wants to launch from day one with the full suite ready, of applications, deep liquidity, and the whole product suite being live. So we'll see if they will do it before the year ends. Let me know in the comments what you think. Is Berachain going to launch, and are you taking part in that bet here? One guy to follow besides Smokey, of course, is Black Bear, a good friend of mine as well. We met up quite a few times this year, and he's a good guy. Follow him on Twitter. He always has the biggest Berachain alpha. He's a DevRel for Berachain, and yeah, always shares the hottest and latest news. And if you have any questions about Berachain, he's also always there to answer. Anyways, that's all for today. Bullish Cosmos, bullish Atom, bullish everything, to be honest. Let me know how you feel. Obviously, as I said, we're still far away from from taking victory laps, but I think our time will come. I'll see you very soon. Until then, stay safe and be good.